Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at some fascinating shifts in the AI landscape, things that make you question what really drives progress. Is it just scale or something else?
It's definitely a mix. We're going to get into Jony Ive's pretty radical vision for OpenAI's hardware, then touch on how geopolitics is messing with the AI talent pool, and cover some amazing research where tiny models are outsmarting the giants.
Plus, of course, we'll hit the other key AI updates and tools you should know about.
Right.
Okay, let's start with Jony Ive, the former Apple design guru, now working with OpenAI. He's basically saying our relationship with technology right now, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, and OpenAI is putting serious money behind that idea. They bought his startup, EO, back in May for something like $6.5 billion. That's a huge signal they're committed to this hardware direction.
And goal isn't just another gadget, is it? It's more psychological.
Totally. I wants to design devices that genuinely make humans happy, fulfilled, peaceful, less anxious, and less disconnected. That's a massive shift from the current model, which often feels built around addiction.
Okay, but wait a second. Peaceful, less disconnected.
Yeah.
How does that align with, the business model? Tech companies usually want more engagement, more screen time.
Well, that's the tension, isn't it? Ive argues that delivering real AI through current devices, like smartphones, is fundamentally absurd. He thinks we need a whole new interaction model, not just tapping and scrolling.
Something less demanding.
Exactly. More ambient, more helpful, less addictive. He and his team apparently have like 15 to 20 product concepts already for a whole family of devices.
But this isn't happening next week, right? There must be a reality check here.
Oh, absolutely. Sam Altman himself has stressed that building a totally new way to use a computer, well, that takes time. Lots of iteration, lots of patience needed. So don't expect these devices just around the corner.
Okay, so a long-term vision for the hardware. Now let's switch gears to the people building the AI models themselves, because they're caught up in a different kind of battleground.
Yeah, this is where geopolitics really hits the lab floor. There was a notable departure recently. Yao Shunyu, a physicist who became a top AI researcher at Anthropic.
He worked on Claude 3.7 Sonic, Claude 4. Pretty significant stuff. And he left for Google DeepMind.
He did. And the reason wasn't just about salary or compute resources, which are the usual suspects.
What was it then?
He specifically pointed to Anthropic's internal policy. Apparently, it stops subsidiaries from adversarial nations like China from accessing their services. He said this accounted for about 40% of his decision to leave.
Wow. Okay, so a company's stance on international collaboration directly impacted their ability to retain top talent.
Precisely. It shows the AI talent wars aren't just about perks anymore. These corporate policies, these geopolitical lines, they're becoming a really critical factor for researchers deciding where to work.
And presumably, labs like Google DeepMind, who hired him, benefit when a competitor draws those kinds of lines.
That seems to be the dynamic. It suggests that if you want the best global talent, you might need to think carefully about policies that could exclude people based on nationality or, geopolitical tensions.
Which really challenges the idea that just having the most money or the biggest computers guarantees you win the AI race.
And that brings us neatly to this next piece of research, which kind of throws the whole bigger is always better idea out the window, at least in some contexts.
Right. This is the tiny recursion model, or TRM. Tell us about this.
Okay, so this comes from Alexia Jolicoeur-Martineau at Samsung. The TRM uses just 7 million parameters.
7 million. That's minuscule compared to the models we usually talk about, the ones with billions, even trillions.
Exactly. Thousands of times smaller. Yet, somehow, on complex reasoning tests, specifically the ARC-AGI-1 benchmark, which is notoriously tough, TRM is reportedly outperforming models vastly larger than itself, like DeepSeek R1 and even some versions of Gemini 2.5 Pro. It scored 45%.
How on earth does a 7 million parameter model do that? What's the trick?
It's all about the architecture, not the scale. TRM uses this clever self-improvement loop. Think of it like it drafts an answer to a problem.
Okay.
Then it kind of critiques its own draft. It uses a separate scratchpad space to analyze its own logic. It does this critique process 6 times for every cycle of revision.
So it argues with itself to get smarter.
Sort of, yeah. It goes through up to 16 cycles of this drafting, internal critiquing, and refining before it produces the final answer. This recursive self-correction makes it incredibly efficient at reasoning, despite its small size.
That's fascinating. So while it might be specific to these puzzle-like reasoning tasks for now, the principle is huge. Smart design can beat brute force compute.
Absolutely. It suggests that labs, maybe without massive GPU clusters, could still make significant breakthroughs by focusing on architectural innovation rather than just parameter count. It levels the playing field, potentially.
Okay, so we've hit some big themes: design philosophy, talent geopolitics, and model efficiency. Let's switch pace slightly now and cover some of the other key AI updates hitting the wires.
Sounds good. First up, healthcare AI. Microsoft's making a big play here. Their next Copilot update is going to license information directly from Harvard Medical School.
That sounds like a move to improve accuracy, but also maybe lessen dependence on OpenAI for specialized knowledge?
Seems likely, yes. It gives them a stronger footing in the valuable healthcare sector and potentially more independence.
Meanwhile, over in Europe, they're putting serious money into their own AI strategy.
That's right, a $1.1 billion twin AI strategy. The key takeaway here is they're explicitly trying to reduce reliance on US and Chinese tech. It involves boosting AI adoption locally and creating an AI and science strategy, basically a shared resource hub for compute and talent within the EU.
So tech sovereignty is a major driver there. What about consumer AI adoption? Any updates?
Sora, the video generation model, seems to be off to a flying start. App Figures data suggests it got around 627,000 downloads in its first week on the App Store.
More than ChatGPT's first week?
Apparently so. Shows the huge appetite for, easy-to-use visual creation tools.
And on the enterprise side?
Zendesk made a pretty bold claim. They've launched new AI agents they say can resolve up to 80% of customer support tickets automatically. That's a big number for automation and customer service.
80%? Wow.
Oh.
Okay. Anthropic, despite the talent discussion earlier, is still expanding.
Yes, they're planning a new office in India for 2026. That'll be their second spot in the Asia-Pacific region. They mention India is already their second largest market for Claude usage globally.
And any major data releases for researchers?
Yep, MIT, IBM, and University of Washington researchers dropped Toucan. It's described as the largest open data set for training AI agents. It contains 1.5 million examples of tool interactions, a big resource for the community.
Also, Google expanded its virtual try-on feature for apparel to more countries and added footwear, too.
Right, making online shopping a bit more interactive.
Okay, let's quickly run through some trending tools people might want to check out.
Sure. For AI agents that can actually use your computer interface, there's Gemini 2.5 computer use.
If you're into image and video generation, XAI has updated Grok Imagine to version 0.9.
For really advanced multilingual text-to-speech, Octave 2 from Hume AI is making waves.
Need to build quick AI mini apps using natural language? Check out Google Opal.
Visual creatives might like Masonry, which lets you work with and remix visuals across basically all the major AI models in one place.
And for whipping up documents and slides fast, NextDocs uses AI to help generate that content instantly.
So, pulling it all together, you have Jony Ive pushing for tech that enhances well-being. You have research showing small, smart models can outperform huge ones. It really makes you wonder.
What's the big question it leaves us with?
Well, considering all this, maybe the question for you listening is, should the whole AI industry start to pivot? Should the focus shift away from just maximizing screen time, maximizing parameters, and instead really prioritize maximizing human well-being and maximizing computational efficiency? Is that the better path forward?
That's definitely something to think about, a potentially different future for AI development. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive. If you found this useful, please do follow the show and maybe share this with others looking for a quick, informed take on what's happening in AI.